Top of morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku Had the
Platinum Kryptonite.
Platinum Kryptonite. So, in this universe, there's I'm gonna change sorry, I'm itching my foot real quick. So, there you go. Sorry about that. So, its actual full name is What If Deku Had the Platinum Kryptonite as his powers. But then I was like, you know what? Just name it the What If Deku Had Platinum Kryptonite, because that would be cool. Oh, I almost made a pun in it. So yeah. Make sure, yeah. So, yeah, you guys could hear me, and yeah. So, yeah. What I mean by Platinum Kryptonite, or first of all, I kind of changed how it is because in one universe it could be giving people superpowers, like other people superpowers of Kryptonians, or like, yeah. Well, Zuko, or no, in this alternate universe, it gives the user the power with every, like, age. Or no, not age. Every time he or she uses it. So, but Zuko was born with it. So, yeah. He only uses it to, yeah. So, and plus, it also turns him into a Kryptonian, too. Basically like that one. But because it's an alternate one, he doesn't have weakness to other kryptonites. He doesn't have the green kryptonite or anything. So he's basically immortal. He could fly around faster than anyone. So, and I'm also adding zooming to this for what if. So, yeah. And plus then, yeah. So let's begin. Zuko and Zumi was born. At age of 3, they meet a couple friends. One of them is Ochako. Oh. And Ochako and Bakugo were their friends. But Ochako had a humongous crush on Zuko when getting older. After they met, it was like love at first sight thing. But I don't know what. Okay? So this is just a story. Okay? So don't take everything literally. So yeah. So then, and so the at age of 4, Zuko and Zumi went to the quirk doctor, and the quirk doctor tells both of them that they have different quirks. Or actually, normally it would be that, yeah. But I'm sticking with the theme of him not having a quirk. But that's a lie, actually. He does. Because his actual quirk is limit. And Zuko. That's his quirk's name. Limit Zuko. Basically, his body, his soul, is wouldn't allow his powers to go out of control. Out of control, out of control, out of control. Yeah. So So Zuko says, so, yeah. So the next day, Ochako and Bakugo were like one day they an age of 6, because Ochako says, how about we should give our quirkless friend a like a prank. Well, I'm saying prank like in pull a prank on somebody. Yeah. Well, Ochako tends to being like Zuko embarrassed. And yeah, just embarrassed. So, but she didn't realize that Zuko actually did have a quirk. But Zumi, the only person that knew that Quirk Doctor was lying was Zumi Midoriya. So, let's go over to her, shall we? Yeah. And the MEJ. Oh. Zumi. Sorry. Midoriya. Yeah. So, yeah, Zumi, I was going to put evil Zumi, but yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. She basically knew that her brother had a quirk, but she doesn't know what type it is. So she still hangs out with her brother. And she also knows that her parents kicked him out because in this world, the quirkless people have 1 cent. Basically, when Zuko had more than a quirk, or being quirkless. He had a quirk, and Zumi, he says, no, oh, Zuko, I know that our parents abandoned you but you're still my brother, no matter what. Huh. Yeah. Besides, I think I know what your quirk is. And she did tell Zuko. He did, or she did try to tell Zuko, but he's like, he looks away because he doesn't know that yeah, because she doesn't know that Zuko is, yeah. So, yeah, but finally, the Quark Doctor shows up to the park thing, and he says, you saw right through my lies thing. Yeah? You can't pull wool over our eyes. Is about him being quirkless. What was his quirk? Well, it's actually a limit quirk. Never heard of that? Our parents told us the stories about people having were born with just a limit as their quirk. Well, your brother over here isn't just isn't just the the like basically a quirkless. He has a quirk of limit, but as he turns to look at Zuko, but you, who is Zuko, you're more powerful than all of us. You actually have because in this world there's a quirkless, quirked, the abilities and powers. Powers are more it is more like 6 trillion tons of money. Honey, I'm saying like in dollars or like, yeah. Well, when Zuko says, I've been having these weird like power scales, like first it's none of you guys noticed it. Except the court doctor says, I did notice this, that, and he, you have more power. As Zuko was basically, yeah, as he had to cover one eye, as he, as Zuko, or not Zuko, The Quark Doctor removes it to see, as it has the. Ah, I see. It's your power that's giving you so many random powers at your control. That's a time power. Yeah. So time powers are born with a like. Okay. It's it's on like countdown, but it's a you could accelerate people's lives or the yeah or do everything else. Your power scaling is like way more than any of ours. And Zumi walks over and hugs her brother. I'm just so proud of you. As he's like, yeah. So he trained with his sister at night when no one's looking. As he learns how to fly with the Quark Doctor. And plus, the he uses his powers, but his presence have not gone unnoticed. There was Principal Nezu, that's one, and All for One, that's two. And the third was actually Dobby. As I know that Dobby is from yeah. So no one notices or no one else notices. So after they were done training, he was about to lay in the trash can. Or not lay in the trash can, but he was laying on the side of it. And was about to sleep. But then a humanoid creature, guess who it was? It was none other than MHA Nezu. So there was Nezu, who came really fast. So, and he says, I know that I. Hold on. All right. So yeah, basically Nezu shows up really fast, and he walks over and he tells Zuko, so you must be the kid and that I've been sensing. It's an honor to meet you. What's your name, by the way? My name is, as Zuko says, I'm Zuko. But My friends call me Deku because the quirkless. Huh. Huh. Well, but the quirk doctor, or the doctor told me that I did had a quirk. Is a limit quirk. Plus, so Nezu says, you were born with powers, the abilities and powers. Or, and yeah. So how do you feel about UA? And Zuko, he's at 6 years old. Or no, 7. No, time skip, yeah, 7. He was 7 when he met Nezu. As, yeah, the, as Nezu says, don't worry. You're accepted to, like, UA no matter what. Okay? So then, skip to, so Nezu actually takes him into UA, his training grounds, as Nezu, who sees him train with, like, robots. I'm going to save that picture because that's cool. So, and Zuko shoots out these beams of light thing, like from his eyes, like heat vision. But they are so, yeah. He's using powers of flight, heat vision, and super strength. As he's like being so powerful that even like, yeah, he destroys robots after robots. And yeah. And there's a little bit of announcements with the Tare. If you guys don't know what so Nezu, so I'll explain everything at the part 2 or at the end of this video. So, yeah, so basically Nezu sees how much potential Zuko has for being the youngest hero in the world. So yeah, so the time skip to 15. He's already been accepted to UA. As at this point, Zuko is at Class 1A. As Bakugo is upset that the quirkless kid is like Zuko, who was as the basically yeah. So Zuko could take on any fight thing. So Yeah. Plus, he could call on like the powers of infinity and zero if he wants to. But yeah, but that's so yeah. Zuko who so everyone was curious of why is there like hot laser beams like the marks all over the training course. As Azumi knows who it was, it was her brother Zuko. So yeah, so Zumi saves Ochako during the exam, and yeah, so time skip. So to getting accepted to UA, and Zuko was classified, or he's a number one, like basically class 1A student. Because as you see how much power. So, in order to keep his powers in check, and, and Recover Girl does like these like tests on him to see how much, yeah, it's slowly growing. So they made a special suit with his hair and DNA thing before. And he did work with all the pro heroes, like Eraserhead, all the way to like all the way through. Like he worked with every pro hero from the entire world. Before. So he's accustomed to any situation. So like everybody really likes him, including Stars and Stripes, and yeah. To me, it feels like Stars and Stripes is like the Supergirl of My Hero Academia. This girl, right here. Stars and Stripes. Yeah. So, one day, when they were doing the heroes thing, or on one mission was a like suicide mission thing, like a Suicide Squad thing, as they so he doesn't mess around when he. So they fly in, get the citizens out, and takes care of the baddies. So he does that real quick. And one of his powers, and everybody's like, dang, slow down. Some, as Zuku's said, it's not just, it's, my powers sometimes does it on their own. And he calms himself down. He did, like, one mission he didn't mean to, but the trigger guy was about to pull a trigger, and Zuko, who was fighting against the big boss one, and he gets smacked as the laser hits the trigger guy. He's disarming literally disarming the trigger guy from activating the bomb as Stars and Stripes was like, man, I'm impressed that you could just whip those out. Zuko Midoriya. Or should I say, Platinum Super? You know? Or Platinum Saver? Yeah. So, that's what all the pro heroes named him that. Platinum Saver. And Zuko was quite accustomed to any situation. So, then, yeah, let's see how much longer this was. Okay, good. Perfect. Because I want to make this into a movie. So, yeah. If you guys don't like me doing, movies, I'll split it in part 1 and part 2. So, but because of my voice thing and how much coughing I've been doing, it's better for me to do these movies. So, yeah. So Zuko goes back to Japan and meets Nezu. As he says, how was it, Platinum Saber? Pretty good. As he had, or his outfit was more like Superman kind of look, but with and kind of like that with a mask on. And yeah, he's custom to his suit, or his suit is custom built for him. So yeah, so then the whole thing, and so then he goes to, so let's see our candidates. Okay, sure. As he was in a control room and he sees his sister, his friends, or one friends, and not very many candidates. Yeah. And yeah, sorry. Okay. So, yeah. So yeah, Zuko ends up basically he's basically a Superman or Superman but with Platinum Kryptonite. powers. Like, yeah. He would be like a platinum version of Superman, but with, yeah. And no, I didn't add his rage power. No, not yet. so, so then yeah. So Zuko shows up to class 1A. And he was there, or so, reason why Zuko was the first person that they picked to be accepted to UA was the same reason. It's because of Zuko that they implemented dorms before her, so that and he has a custom built one so that sometimes the power scales doesn't allow him to do, or he has a fancy ones. Like he has a gaming setup and he has, yeah, it's, so, yeah. But he does sure clean up after himself. So, yeah, there's that. So, so then so he was living with Nezu, or not Nezu, at UA, his dorms, for a good while. And yeah. So, and if you were hearing the clicking noise in the background, it's just a washer and dryer doing their thing. So, like, I'm saying washer and dryer, like the washing machine and dryer, stuff. So, yeah. So, so yeah. So then the whole, like, so now, yeah. And before school starts, he always eats really fast. And he visits with Recovery Girl to see what she's up to. And he's been really close with all the teachers and including Nezu, so he actually does, or Nezu knows that he visits with him every, yeah. So then he shows up to class as Nezu, or not Nezu, the Eraserhead says, "Hey Zuko, what's up?" And yeah, Zuko says, "Nothing much, how about you?" As Bakugo's and Ochako's are like, here, hold on. Them having shocked faces. Because they heard there's a young man then and hangs out with the pro heroes all the time and doing pro hero works. But them meeting who it was, as Bakugo says, "Deku, is that really you?" Yep. One and only. As Eraserhead says, "Do you know him?" Yeah. He's very, explosion kind of guy. So then he ends up like, "How are you here?" And Bakugo asks, Well, Zuko says, as Nezu, or as Eraserhead says, don't need to answer that, Zuko. See, your friend here, Bakugo, or your classmate, as for all of you to know, your classmate wasn't quirkless. He actually has a quirk that's was born with a limit. And when they heard what he had, a limit was is a like basically limits their true powers or abilities from ever going crazy. Do you know anyone who do you know any do you know anyone from the crazy? Well, yeah. So let's move on. Zuko ends up telling, or no, actually, Eraserhead says, your friend here has the powers of platinum. Is it platinum? I keep forgetting.
Platinum Kryptonite.
Powers. And when everyone else heard what he has, because Platinum Kryptonite, or because normally it's in this alternate universe, whoever was born with it has so much power. Or as he says, yeah, that's true. I can fly, I could shoot beams out of my eyes. I'm talking about like the human eyes. And I'm indestructible, I can use other powers. And yeah. Plus, so then when Ochako heard how much, plus, she now knows that because she remembers the, like, list, like the tier list thing of quirkless, gets only 1 cent, that's it. And quirks have 10 billion dollars. The abilities is 20,000. Or no, wait, I meant trillions. And then the abilities or the powers ours is sextillion tons for each power that they have. So based on what, so Ochako looks stunned. Momo was stunned because of course, she has a company, her family has a company of the team to give her money in like trillions. But when she heard there was someone that's in that category, because that's actually super ultimate legendary rare to be born into that category. And because Zuko has all three, he could use, because his quirk could be turned into his powers or the abilities at will. So, and then his Platinum Kryptonite thing, like his powers, ends up giving himself more power or the more abilities. So yeah, Zuko ends up being the most, if plus he's more paid, like the highest paid person in the entire universe. Yeah. As everybody can't believe So I'm skipping to so I'm skipping all the way to All Might versus All for One, because in quite boring part, but that's okay. So and plus, the reason why I'm skipping all the way to like the fights thing is because yesterday Zuko beats the stun out of the Nomu, who with his heat vision, and then the gets him out of there before. And then before we go jump into All for One versus All for One, or no, All for One versus All Might, I meant during the sports festival was a little bit different. So yeah, so the first round was a race one, and Zuko just laying. Because Bakugo Todoroki uses a ice wall, as Zuko beams right through the ice wall, and he ends up in first place in 0 seconds, because Zuko just straight up flew up into the air and flew across all the way around. Like he followed the path, as everyone was stunned. The timer didn't even go home. Or it looked like a timer didn't even go even 0 seconds. And Zuko was like, man, that was fast. Yeah. He could go all the way to... Yeah, because he was trained. and by the best pro heroes and so including his mother, Inko. And when she heard, or when people were talking, or when the commentary was like, Zuko wins the first round. Now, Zuko, so tell us about this student, Uden. As he says, his name, well, Zuko has Platinum Kryptonite as his powers. He could also create new powers or abilities, and so far we know that he has a quirk that's a limit. He could move his quirk to his powers or abilities. And when Inko heard that, when she could not believe, like her eyes widened. She could not believe that they abandoned. First thought was they abandoned Zuko for having a quirk, but they didn't realize it. Azumi didn't so so then after the sports festival, Zuko Zumi came home, and she really did tell them that the quirk doctor was lying to them about Zuko having no quirk. And when Inko and Sashi were pretty shocked about that, Inko could not believe, that her own son is a more powerful than anyone in the universe. Yeah. So couple of days after, Sasaki went over there because he was a pro hero. And and he walks up and he sees Zuko about to walk in. But Zuko ran like a speeding bullet, so Zuko tells, Sashi tells Zuko, Sashi walks up to Zuko and tells him that he's accepted to UA. He was accepted to UA in Class 1A. He was accepted back into the family because and he says that his sister, this is what Sashi said to Zuko. Your sister told us everything about the quirk doctor lied to us about you not having a quirk. And plus seeing the proof. So Zuko he got over 9.1 bazillion, and because he got one. As Eraserhead says, you've been working with all the pro heroes, so they accepted, So the only one is her father. So then So Asashi says, yeah. What I mean by everyone that Zuko worked with was, of course, Ernest was. He also worked with Endeavor. And Endeavor took a liking to him because he's more that kind of person. Everyone in Todoroki's his family really likes him to be that one. So, now, moving on. Zuko is happy. So, he got accepted to be with his father thing. So, his father had a company, or not company, but he was a pro hero. And Satoshi was like, ready, Zuko? Yeah. So he wasn't like, walks around, or he does walk around, and he looks around. Then here Killer Stain was about to, comes out, or no. Let's say Asashi went into the dark hall with Zuko, and Asashi, he sees Native him was about to get killed by Hero Killer Stain, as Zuko comes in full bolt and smacks like a superhero smack, or like punched or Hero Killer Stain, knocking him out in about that single punch. So now we're on to All for One versus All Might thing, with getting that out of the way. So All Might was down, but All for One was about to shoot the laser, or he does. But Zuko comes in, and he's like, because how much training he went through, he ends up saving All Might's life. As the laser bounced off his chest, or like, like Superman and takes the beams of light every day, and he's unfazed by it. Well, yeah. Well, Zuko was same. So when he walks over, as All for One's like, though I really want to see you in. I wanted to meet in you, Zuko Midoriya. Or should I say, or actually, he goes by, or no, Zuko, or no, All for One says his superhero name, for Zuko. Your Platinum Blade. You strike down any foe that you chooses. Yeah. So then Zuko, comes in, and yeah, All for One, basically is going toe-to-toe with Zuko. Zuko isn't holding back because he's pretty ticked off because someone was trying to kill his favorite idol, or everyone's favorite idol. And yeah. And All for One ends up down on the ground, with his limbs blown off, and his regeneration quirk got destroyed, and so now it was just his immortality was keeping him alive. And Zuko was he looks at All For One and tells him that no one should hurt my friends. And Zuko was pretty powerful. And so when he calms himself down, he was still in control. As he turns around, walks away, without finishing off All For One. Because he's not into that. Killing villains thing. Because All Might is confused of why didn't he kill him. As Zuko, name All For One uses his voice. You're too kind heart, or Platinum Saber, or Platinum Blade. Is that why that was it an accident that you used your heat vision to and ends up cutting the guy his arm off? Because he knows, or because All For One knows that. As Zuko's eyes start to glow in anger. Because he didn't really mean to cut a guy's arm off. He meant to stop him from triggering the explosion. And yeah, so Zuko shoots a beam of light. And Nezu could tell that when Zuko gets angry, they need to run or calm him down. So when All Might gets up, he walks over and straight up hugs him. Because or actually, let's say Zumi was the one that got captured, and she walks over to him and hugs him, and she says, I know that you're upset, then it's not your fault. So Zuko ends up, being Zuko. And Zumi, or when Inko knew that it wasn't, he didn't mean to, cut a guy's arm off. Yeah. With heat vision. And, yeah. He's blaming himself. As the reason why is because when he got hit, you know where the villain's heart was? Was in his arm. So when you cut his arm off, it basically the trigger guy's arm. It was right at his little he cuts his arm off. Or Zuko cuts the trigger guy's arm that killed him, as he's blaming himself for it. He didn't mean to kill a guy. As he was in his room after the whole All Might versus All for One, as he's still blaming himself, as All Might Class 1A and the Class 1A, Class 1B team, and the pro heroes, they now know what happened on that side. As Zuko is still upset, as he can't believe that it still haunts him. As All Might says, I know that he didn't mean to do that, and I'm, yeah. But to be honest, thank goodness it was. Okay. So, Nezu says, yeah. I know that. I was trying to aim the laser at the device, but I ended up missing and ends up cutting the guy's arm off, killing him in an instant. So, yeah. So then that's what Zuko said. And so then after that, Ochako finally tells him the truth about, why she did it. And about pretending, as Zuko knew it was a prank, because he had super hearing, or not super hearing, he has he could hear everyone's thoughts. Or no, he has the ultimate hearing. So when he was just playing along, as Bakugo was like, yeah, how did you know, as Bakugo says, how did you know that Ochako and I were pretending to date? You know, one of the powers that, Platinum Kryptonite gives? Yeah. What does it give you? Ultimate hearing. Basically, I could hear from the entire world. People's voices to their thoughts in their heads. And, yeah. And plus, listen to both of you, giving yourselves a bad time about it is just too funny. As he also looks over at Mina, because there's rumors, or actually, let's say Dobby, or not Dobby. Let's say everyone is trying to keep their thoughts clear from Zuko's hearing. So, and Dobby, in this alternate universe, didn't become a villain. He became a hero. instead. He joins Class 1A before. So Todoroki was with his brother at the time. So, and Dabi just looks at Zuko, and they became like so deeply like friends that even like they even give each other high fives. Yeah. So Chaco, so a time skip to the future, and there's many paths. And there's like, but I'm going down the like fatherly route. What I mean by that is basically he gets married to Ochako and has a daughter that is Kryptonian or gravity Kryptonian, basically. What I mean by gravity Kryptonian is a basically like if Superman had gravity powers. Yeah. So then, yeah, the daughter has that. And plus, sometimes he has the overloads, like what you saw during the All Might versus All for One thing. And a couple times after, or no, before that, he didn't mean to kill the guy off by just chopping off his arm. Like, boom, done. So, yeah. And who puts a heart on their guy's arm, inside of the guy's arm? Because the quirk that the villain had, it randomly, like, moves body parts around. And the quirk ends up moving the heart to his trigger side. Basically, what it means is basically pulls the trigger and boom. Yeah. And who does that? Who has that quirk? Tell me in the comments of if you ever seen people move their body parts around. I'm not talking about their outsides, like arms or legs, or their skin. It's the insides. Yeah. Well, yeah, so now this is the end of the movie. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment, and you might have a perfect day ahead if you hit the like button. So, good night or day, depends on the time zones. Peace.